Okay, we're going to look at how to graph a hyperbola, but really step by step and all the parts of it. Now, these are our notes from the Google Classroom that I think Mr. Autry kind of put together, and here they are. You have the standard form of a hyperbola, y equals a over x minus p plus q. And there's these 5 things: the shape, the y-intercept, the x-intercept, the asymptotes, and the axis of symmetry. And there's ways to work out every part. The first thing, if this number on top is positive, there's the shape. The branches are top right and bottom left. But if it's negative, if it's a negative number, they're to the top left and the bottom right. Now, I'm going to show you how to do a question step by step that I think is the easiest way to do it. So let's just try. The first thing, say you have y equals 2 over x minus 3 plus 1. Well, because it's a 2, the shape, because it's a number greater than 0, there's the shape. So I know that the hyperbola's got to be top right, bottom left. That's the basic shape. Okay, the next easiest thing is the y-intercept. Just put 0 in there and type that into your calculator. 1 minus 2 over 3. That's negative 2 over 3. 1 minus 2 over 3. You get the y-intercept of 1/3. Now, I'd like to change the order of the way we're going to do things here. I would like to go for the next thing to the asymptotes, because finding the x-intercept can be a little bit tricky, and the asymptotes are super easy. All you do is you go to the first number here, this 1. Y equals that number is called the horizontal asymptote. You go to 1 on the y line and draw a flat line, horizontal line. And then you take the opposite of this number here. If it's minus 3, you write x equals 3. And that's the vertical asymptote. Should make sense. 3 minus 3 is 0. That's the place you can't go. And if this can't be 0, y can't be 1. Now it's time to sketch it. And what you sketch first is the asymptotes. So there's your x. You start off with a y and an x-axis. You go up to 1 on y and draw a line, horizontal line, straight across at y equals 1. Y equals 1. Then you go 1, 2, 3 along, and you draw a vertical line at x equals 3. Well, now your asymptotes are in here. One last thing you could do is put in y equals 1/3. Graph that point, 1/3 right there. Well, there's 1, so about 1/3 of the way, put a little point there. You've got the y-intercept, you've got the asymptotes. You can sketch the graph now, and it's almost better to sketch the graph now because you can get an idea of what the x-intercept should be. So what you're going to do is put in 2 branches like this. One branch going up here. You use your asymptotes to draw the branch. Now, I cheated and got a computer to do it, but it looks like this. One branch goes up here, and then one branch goes down here, but it's got to pass through 1/3. Well, it passes through another point right here. Even if you don't have a computer to do it, but you can tell it doesn't pass through somewhere between 0 and 3. Hey, it looks like it could be 1 or somewhere close to 1. I'm just looking at it. But here you've got the whole sketch of the thing with the shape, the asymptotes, one of the intercepts. You're going to get all your marks. And now let's try the 4th thing. Let's do the x-intercept now, because it's a little bit harder. What we have to do to find an x-intercept is we let y equal 0. Then we multiply everything by x minus 3. 1 times x minus 3 is x minus 3. But if I multiply 2 over x minus 3, the x minus 3's cancel, and I just get 2. Well, 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Add 1 to both sides. Hey, x equals 1. There's the x-intercept. Well, there's the whole thing sketched. You'd have to label this with the equation y equals 2 over x minus 3 plus 1. But that's kind of it. The last thing are the asymptotes. Now, they're pretty darn easy. If you've got this graph here, all you do is draw a 45-degree line that goes straight through where the asymptotes cross, and do it going up and going down. And that's your answer. One of them will be y equals x going up this way, and then a number, and y equals minus x going down. Those are the equations of the asymptote. But how do we get the intercepts? Well, it's really pretty easy. All we do is we take the y equals 1 and the x equals 3, and we substitute it into y equals x plus the intercept. So we put 1 in for y, 3 in for x. Well, then we subtract 3, we get minus 2. That's why it's y equals x minus 2. There's the one, the positive one, passes through minus 2 down here. There's the y-intercept if we wanted to write it in. The other one, hey, there's a mistake in the notes there if you look at it, just a little typo, I think. We substitute 1 in for y, 3 in for x, and we've got minus 3 here. We add it. The y-intercept equals 4. So it's y equals minus x, and it cuts through up here at 4. And there's your asymptotes. They're really easy to draw in because you just draw two lines at 45 degrees that go right through the middle of the asymptotes. There's the whole thing done completely.